2001 February 7, 3:45 p.m. 12 years ago today. Touchdown, Mongolia. When I received my obedience from Don Odorico and blessings from Don Vecchi to lead the founders of the mission in Mongolia, I began deliberately to filially seek out a way to meet the remaining living Salesian pioneers of my country of origin, which is the Philippines. In the last winter months of the Jubilee year 2000 of North American West Coast, I sought out Father Anthony DeFalco and met him in a nursing home in California. In the early days of February 2001, a day before my entry into Mongolia, I was privileged to be brought to Braga House in Hong Kong and meet Father Mario Aquistapache. Bent with age, he listened to what good news I was eager to tell him. Father Mario, tomorrow we will enter Mongolia. Upon hearing this, his eyes teared up and said, "This too was our dream. This too was Don Bosco's dream." I then asked him to write a note on a stampita that I could carry with me as an encouragement to what lies ahead. He wrote in the stampita of Pope Paul VI, "Mama, Maria will be with you." And indeed she was, is, and will be. At 3:45 p.m., our Mongol Airlines MIAT Airbus wheels touchdown in Buyant Ukha Airport, Mongolia, in the coldest capital city of the world, Ulaanbaatar, meaning the Red Hero, outer of Mongolia. The temperatures then were nothing compared nowadays. My beloved chaperones, they would leave me behind 2 days later, then were Father Odorico and Father T, my new provincial, now that this mission was entrusted to the Salesian jurisdiction of Vietnam. And after the brief introductions to the mission by some missionaries, I was left to live in the mission center for a while, whilst preparing our place, our school, our educative mission work. For us Salesians, we educate by evangelizing, and we evangelize by educating. This implies that with a new evangelization requires a new education. Father Odorico and Father T's prayer were and are already strong, it seems. Since the last words to their parting fraternal embrace to me were, "I will pray for you. Learn the Mongolian language well. Prepare the coming of the rest of the team." And the school. Yes, the school. It must open in September, 6 months from now. To my knowledge, I think with Mama Mary's help, I fulfilled most of what that means. With means available, with the exception of the language studies, that was not only impossible but foolish to say the least in hindsight. To my knowledge, I have prepared the school to the best of my God-given formation and experience. With 11 years as a technical student of DB Makati, 11 years as a Salesian educator priest in the making in Don Bosco Canlubang, Don Bosco Mandaluyong, and Don Bosco Parañaque, and to my first mission territory as a very young priest, that is, 7 beautiful years in Papua New Guinea. To my knowledge, my converts then, now and in the future, will always have a place warm enough to keep the presence of St. John Bosco thawed and unfrozen if they have enough means to pay the bills. To my knowledge, my Mongolian proficiency is our corporate lacune, which I hope and pray may someday be realized and fulfilled. After 12 and a half winters, nearing 500 Mongolian youths have passed through the doors of our home. 11 graduation ceremonies from 30 2001 to 300 in 2012. Very strict, Don Bosco, very strict and honest, but is a very good school. Our Mongolia needs more of this kind. Tenger Burkhan, God of the heavens and of earth, is good. A Ministry of Labor official once told me to my face after pinning a Medal of Honor on me that he believes we ought to be a model school for the rest. A year later, he was mysteriously killed, and words on the street say because he was an honest man. A dying man usually tells the truth. God rest his good soul. I always told the students and staff and parents, it is useless to gain knowledge and skills without moral values. Let us produce not only students with a high school diploma, let us produce not only students with a technical skill, let us produce also honest, truthful, respectful, hardworking, and grateful citizens of Mongolia. And it all begins with a good foundation of educators in good homes, that is, parents, and good schools, educative staff. The secret? I come to realize that people, young as well as the older ones, do not reflect much. If we all did reflect, the possibilities for transformation are limitless. Even the first pillars of the preventive system is reason. Rationality in the very human conscience is open to truth, to goodness, to transformation. From plus 40 hot temperatures in summer to minus 40 deep freeze temperatures in winter, a non-issue even for people like me born in the tropics. Our subsistence in the great steppes of the central plains of Asia should serve as a myth buster for naysayers, since freezing climates are not Waterloos for mission. You should try listening to our converse in Siberia. Yet my baptism into sub-zero 45 degrees Celsius was very real when I had to go by foot and public transportation to and from my 5-month stint at Mongolian language school. But the warm reception of the Mongolian youth and elders to the truth and goodness within themselves makes it worth all the while for a Salesian to prepare the seedbed for their own generations to come to embrace the fullness of truth and goodness in the very person whom Kublai and Temujin, aka Genghis Khan, called prophetically as Tenger Burkhan. It is something to be chronicled in history, especially from the Rector Major, yet at great risk and responsibility when one's main task is simply to live up to what the Baptist said, that he must increase and I must decrease. I believe we ought to have more courage to implement the correct and unified charism at all costs. Learning from the past 12 years, not ever again to be compromisingly soft to the clamor of a few who demanded their individualism and in the end are sadly lost. May the Lord and Saint John Bosco grant us mercy. When all things failed to unconvince my superiors, I asked Father Odorico why on earth did he choose me to be the founder among founders. He said, because you're crazy. Enough said. Viva Cristo Rey! Father Carlo Villegas.